Help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Hey, Coach, you wanted to see me?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know we're going with Geico for next week's game.
Geico? As our starting point guard?
Geico really delivers in the clutch, with over 85 years of great claim service right when customers need it most.
Coach, Geico isn't a basketball player. It's an insurance company.
Yeah, I just feel like Geico gives us our best chance to win.
Are you serious right now?
Thanks, champ. Knew you'd understand.
For the choice you can always rely on, go to geico.com.
You're listening to 1050 ESPN, your home for New York Islanders hockey. WEPN, New York, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Now on SportsCenter all night. Can the Lakers keep their playoff push alive without LeBron?
I think they have enough to sort of muddle through and hang in the race for 9 or 10. I think everything above that is probably going to be closed off to them now because the LeBron loss is just that big.
We hear from GMs and coaches around the league as the NFL Combine draws near.
So we're going to do everything we can do to evaluate every player at that position, both in the draft and free agency, and try to do what we can do to improve the room.
And more from an action-packed Tuesday on the hardwood.
Conchar into the paint, running floater, no good. Oh, Jared Jackson just posterized Anthony Davis with a follow left-hand jam.
This is SportsCenter all night.
I'm not in the business of making other teams better. I'm in the business of making the Cincinnati Bengals better. And so trading T. Higgins is not on my mind. That's their problem. They want a receiver. Go find your own.
Here's Jay Reynolds.
Go find your own. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM, Channel 80. As we turn the calendars now, welcome into March. Going to be crunch time in college hoops. That's in 20 minutes.
Can the Lakers make the playoffs without LeBron?
No, I wasn't sure the Lakers could make the playoffs with LeBron.
This is the nightmare when it comes to the Lakers.
We could just shove aside that notion that they're going to advance beyond the play-in and get to the 6th seed, because without LeBron, that ain't happening.
It's unfortunate that LeBron went down, but injuries are a real part of our sport, and we got to step up and hold down the fort until he returns.
If you're a fan of LeBron James or the Lakers, you're saying, there goes my team's chances of making the playoff.
LeBron James injuring his right foot 3 games into what he called the 23 most important of his career. Lakers sans LeBron returning to the court Tuesday on the road in Memphis. Lakers, of course, going in as the 12 seed in the West, facing the 2nd seed in the conference. And this one went pretty much as expected.
Morant around a Clark screen into the lane, hangs it. Gabriel floats it up and in. John Morant is still down, though. He took a shot. Grizzlies up by 9. Reeves at the horn. It's no good. Morant, a new franchise record with 28 points in a quarter.
28 in the third, and Memphis was in control.
Schroeder left wing. Lobs for Davis. Intercepted by Bane. Bane gets by a defender. Bane lobs for Morant. Oh, what an alley-oop and a two-handed finish for John Morant. Bane with an absolutely gorgeous pass, and Morant displaying the athleticism that has made him a star.
92.9 ESPN Memphis Grizzlies, a 121-109 win over the Lakers. 39 for John Morant, 39 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Second career 30-point triple-double. Grizzlies scoring 47 in the third, 28 of them from John Morant. Anthony Davis, 28 in the loss for the Lakers. LA with the loss, falling to 5-10 without LeBron James this season. Coach Darvin Ham.
You got, arguably the best player to ever play the game. You're going to feel his absence. That's for damn sure. But, these guys, like I said, we have capable players at all positions. And, it's just a matter of us slowing down, understanding what we got to get to, making sure our spacing is correct, and then having a rhythm to what we're doing. Not just dribbling, probing, holding. Like, we just got to get to it. We got to get in and out of our actions and get to a second side or third side action as quickly as possible. And obviously, again, we turned it over and we struggled with the rhythm of the game today offensively.
Lakers sitting in 12th in the Western Conference. They need to adapt to life without LeBron. There's no timeline at this point, but the Lakers are expected to reevaluate his right foot in 2 weeks, and his return would likely extend beyond that.
I'm told they're going to have an all-hands-on-deck coaches meeting today and go through lineup permutations and figure out what groups can work together here. I think two names that will come up in that conversation are Rui Hachimura and Lonnie Walker. Both those guys had kind of been in lesser roles once the team was reshuffled at the trade deadline. And, certainly with Rui playing the same position as LeBron, there's some minutes there. And Lonnie Walker, and it was actually a big part of their team in the early going this season. They like what he can bring offensively to this group. And so, again, this is tough for Darvin Ham to have to go through again. He just thought he had something settled. He said he finally had his starting lineup he planned to use for the rest of the season. And now he has to figure things out all over again.
ESPN's Dave McMenamin, Lakers 12th in the West, 4 games under 500, and now without LeBron James. Earlier on KJM, R.J. Williams.
I didn't see the Lakers really contending anyway with a healthy LeBron James. I saw them making a push realistically for the 6th seed. So now you're telling me LeBron James is going to miss several weeks. That takes you all the way into almost the end of March before he's coming back. It leaves you about a week and a half of the regular season. Mm-hmm. So for me, I see this being the Lakers season. And everybody's going to shift the focus to AD, which I get. But are we realistically, Harry, going to think that we're going to expect AD, Anthony Davis, and I love him as a talent, to all of a sudden get the Lakers to a 7th or 8th seed?
Meanwhile, it'll be 2 weeks before LeBron is even reassessed. ESPN NBA reporter Tim McMahon.
Dude, this is a disaster for the Lakers. Sure, great. Here's your opportunity, AD. This is a team that's a freaking 12 seed trying to scratch and claw its way to the play-in. I think they're going to need a lot of help. And look, the Pelicans obviously have their own problems. We don't know when and or really if Zion's coming back. The Jazz gave the Lakers guys to be competitive because the Jazz aren't prioritizing chasing a play-in spot. It's going to take some teams that are ahead of them to really, stumbling down the stretch, which is possible. But again, they've still got to leapfrog the Portland Trailblazers, who are absolutely all in on trying to win.
And the Lakers on Tuesday losing in Memphis. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio to Houston, Nuggets and Rockets. Last time Denver played, Nikola Jokic picked up his 99th career triple-double. Guess what he did Tuesday?
Kenyon Martin Jr., top of the key to Şengün, guarded by Bruce Brown. He puts it on the floor, hands it off behind him. Over to Washington. Left side now, catch and go as Smith leans in. Layup is no good. Rebound down to Nikola Jokic, and there it is. His 100th career triple-double for Nikola Jokic. Also his 24th on the year for the big fella from Denver.
Altitude Radio Network. Nuggets go on to beat the Rockets 133-112. Jokic, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists. Second straight double-double. As you heard, his 24th of the season, 100 of his career, his coach Mike Malone.
For him to be mentioned with all these historical accomplishments just reminds you that we are so blessed to have a guy like Nikola, who is as talented as he is, who accomplishes all these things on the court. But the most important and impressive thing about Nikola is with that, so humble. I mean, it's never about, like, I just gave him the ball, and I think he's embarrassed by that. He doesn't want it to be about him. And that's what makes him a special person. a special son, a special brother, a special father, and a special husband, because he is a unique person who doesn't want any of the attention or credit. He just wants to go about his business and help this team win its first championship.
Jokic becoming the sixth player with 100 triple-doubles in his career. He's averaged a triple-double for the third straight calendar month. Only Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook have done that. Nuggets, meanwhile, have won 28 straight games in which Jokic has posted a triple-double, including all 24 this season. They get the win over Houston on Tuesday. Houston, meanwhile, 10th consecutive loss. The last 5 of those have been by at least 15. On the other end of the success spectrum, there's Milwaukee. Bucks putting their double-digit win streak on the line Tuesday in Brooklyn, where they pick up a 15th consecutive win. Bucks a 118-104 win, extending the win streak to 15. Coach Mike Budenholzer.
We're focused on just playing good basketball. We just kind of take it day by day, focus on how are we improving, how are we getting better, and all those other things will, if you're doing the right things day by day, good things will happen.
4th longest win streak in franchise history, longest since winning 18 straight in 2019. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 33 points in the win over the Nets on Tuesday. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
Our feelings haven't changed about Aaron. It feels today more real than it ever has at any point.
Do you want him back as the quarterback of the Packers? Those discussions have to happen and making sure that it's the right fit.
Today was the first time that the window was open by Brian Gutekunst to say that he may not be back in Green Bay.
He said our season and what happened last year adjusted our thinking a little bit. And now he's saying that all options are open.
So he's going to play somewhere else.
We know about the darkness retreat. We know Aaron Rodgers was taking his time figuring out his future. In the meantime, General Manager Brian Gutekunst says there's been little or no conversation between the Packers and Aaron Rodgers since their end-of-season meetings more than a month ago. And we can certainly label what he's been saying as lukewarm at best. ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky saying that it's certainly a change of position for the Packers this offseason.
The more we hear from Brian Gutekunst, the Packers general manager, the more non-committal he sounds to Aaron Rodgers. Let's do a quick review of dates. December 6th, he spoke with us during the Packers bye week, and he said, yeah, we want Rodgers back. Shortly after the season, he said, when we signed him to that 3-year, $150 million contract extension last offseason, it was for more than 1 year. Today, when we met with him, it sure sounded like he was leaving himself an out. During a 35-minute session with those of us that cover the Packers in a private room here at the Combine, he said, our season and what happened last year adjusted our thinking a little bit. And now he's saying that all options are open. He's going to have communication with Rodgers before he can make any decision and before Rodgers can make any decision. The problem is there hasn't been any communication yet, a few text messages, but no actual sit down.
The comments on Tuesday making waves, including in Green Bay. Mark Tauscher, former Packers great, who's now at 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
After that exit meeting and when he went on McAfee, you started first getting the idea that maybe there wasn't going to be that mutual, I want you back and I want to come back and play for you. You started feeling that. And then you hadn't heard anything outside of leaks, and innuendo from NFL insiders. And today was the first time we heard Brian Gutekunst. And this is the first time, even going back to when Aaron was really mad after the Jordan Love draft pick and everything else, that the window was open by Brian Gutekunst to say that he may not be back in Green Bay. And that's the first time that he's ever said it. It's always been Aaron Rodgers is going to be our quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is going to be our quarterback. And today was the first time that you actually heard it from Brian Gutekunst's mouth that he may not be. And that, to me, was very telling.
Rodgers still under contract with the Packers, so if he were to move, it would be via a trade. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. One guy who won't be traded, Bengals receiver T. Higgins. Cincinnati general manager Duke Tobin.
I'm not in the business of making other teams better. I'm in the business of making the Cincinnati Bengals better. And so trading T. Higgins is not on my mind. That's their problem. They want a receiver. Go find your own. In my opinion, T. Higgins is a good piece for the Cincinnati Bengals. So the trade stuff is a little ridiculous right now.
If you want a receiver, go find your own. One trade that could be made, the top overall pick in the draft. Bears are fielding offers. Would not be a shock if they deal the top pick. General Manager Ryan Poles.
There are some scenarios that it might benefit us to move, before free agency, opens potentially. But again, when we get back with all the information that we've gathered from here, I think we'll have a better direction.
Just because it would give you a clear view of what you need, or how would it be beneficial?
A clear view of what we need. And there's scenarios where you could, add players as well, potentially, which again gives you some clarity on what you want to do in the draft and free agency.
Bears could pull the string on a deal if they get the right deal. ESPN draft expert Mel Kiper Jr.
If you can get Jalen Carter from Georgia, who I think is the best player in this draft, it's not a good draft, but he's the number one guy on the board right now. Injured in September, came back healthy, was wreaking havoc late. He was the dominant figure in 2021 on that talent-laden Georgia Bulldog defense. Jalen Carter was the guy. The Bears need him, that interior defensive tackle. Defensive line in general, Greeny, big need for the Chicago Bears. They have their franchise quarterback in Justin Fields, so no question you keep Fields. You don't trade Justin Fields. Justin Fields is your guy. You move down twice, you get extra draft picks. You benefit from teams willing to move up and desperate to move up to get that quarterback in this draft. And you had 4, you're guaranteed either Will Anderson Jr. or Jalen Carter.
Top overall pick could send quite a bit in the Bears' direction, but, says ESPN Bears reporter Courtney Cronin, not necessarily.
I don't think it's going to be as high as what's out there right now. And that's again, you have to sift through all the smoke screens because, the idea that they can get a king's ransom for this number 1 overall pick after tipping their hand that they're not trying to draft a quarterback, it takes away some of their leverage. So I don't think it's going to be what we saw for Trey Lance, the pick that the 49ers traded up for to get their quarterback a few years ago. 3 firsts for that in a second. I don't think that they're going to be able to generate that.
See what the Bears ultimately do. But speaking of Chicago, there has been a massive trade for Chicago. That's next. SportsCenter all night. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Wednesday, don't look now, but the Knicks. Yes, I'm doing this promo for the Knicks. They have won 6 straight games in a row. But what exactly is their identity? Keyshawn, J. Willimax, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, E2, and ESPNU.
This is SportsCenter all night.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535.
ESPN New York, everywhere. Whether you're driving in your car or riding the LIRR, ESPN New York is never out of reach.
We're going to try to touch as many of you as possible.
No matter your listening routine, never miss Stump Rothenberg for your morning run. I have a lot of knowledge. Never miss the Power Hour. Due to your power lunch. And never miss an ENN. Again. Hailing a cab, catching the train, or boarding a bus. The ESPN New York app is your ticket to ESPN New York everywhere. Download the app today.
Peter Rosenberg here to tell you about my friends over at Bath Fitter. They remodeled my bath. They did an incredible job, and it was customized for my specific needs. The process was easy, one installer, and done in as little as 1 day. No demolition needed, which keeps the cost down. And Bath Fitter is a permanent solution, not a cover-up, not a Band-Aid, and you get a lifetime guarantee for as long as you own your home. 38 years in business and over 2 million happy customers just like me. For a limited time, get no interest, no payments for 12 months, and start designing your bath today like I did at bathfitterdesign.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use Closet Box instead? Closet Box is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for unused storage space. Closet Box's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. Closet Box's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. Closet Box has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code radio50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver," unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York.
SportsCenter All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
SportsCenter All Night, ESPN Radio, and the ESPN app.
Now Domi to a loose puck, put it in front of the net. Kane shoots, he scores his first goal in 7 games. And his first point on this Canadian road trip. Happens 44 seconds into the first period. For Kane, that's his 10th goal on the year. From Domi, gives the Blackhawks a 1-0 lead.
That's how it sounded on WGN, but Patrick Kane's no longer going to be heard on WGN, at least not his home games, as he is on the move. ESPN's Emily Kaplan reporting the star winger is on his way to the New York Rangers. ESPN analyst Ryan Callahan.
Kane playing with Panarin, a guy he's very familiar with. He's obviously played with him in Chicago. They loved playing with each other. And now you have that option if you're the New York Rangers. You keep that kid line together. You didn't have to give any of them to acquire Kane. And now it's going to be a nightmare matchup, especially on the road. You can move all 6 of those guys around, get them away from the top team, add Shesterkin in net. And for me, this trade makes the New York Rangers the favorite to win the Stanley Cup.
In return for Kane, Chicago receives a couple of draft picks, a second-rounder this year, which could elevate to a first-rounder, plus a fourth-rounder this year. On the ice on Tuesday, Bruins and Flames go to overtime, tied at 3.
Marchand skates into it over the line, left side. Left circle, cuts in, shoots off the side of the cage. Back of the net, Marchand with kicks to the stick. To Bergeron, McAvoy shoots, he scores! With 4 seconds left here in overtime, Charlie McAvoy drilled it inside the near post.
And the Bruins win it 4-3, 98.5 the Sports Hub. Bruins are on pace for 64 wins. That would be an NHL record. Current record is 62. They're also on pace for 135 points. Current record, 132. SportsCenter All Night, ESPN Radio. College hoops, we are now into March. Getting to those last opportunities for teams to state their case for the NCAA tournament. Mountain West, Boise State beginning the night as one of Joe Lunardi's last 4 in, squarely on the bubble. Boise State hosting number 18, San Diego State.
Broncos with a chance to go in front. Rice trying to get into the paint. Rice, long 3 is good again. Max Rice with his 5th Mountain America 3. Aztecs call timeout. Broncos are up 2. It's a 10-0 run. 62-60. 3 triples in a row for Wright. 9 seconds left. They're going to dribble it out, and the Broncos are going to have a signature win. 66-60.
And there it is. And here comes the crowd.
Storm in the court after the big win at home on Learfield, 66-60 the final. San Diego State led by 8 with just under 5 minutes to go. They were outscored 14-0 the rest of the game. And Boise State gets a huge win. In the Big 12, Texas Tech needing a push. They started the night on Joe Lunardi's list of next 4 out. They were facing third-ranked Kansas.
Isaacs would drive for a 2. Missed it off the side of the backboard. Rebound McCullough. He passes ahead to Wilson. Up the floor to Dick. To Wando. Two-hand layup good.
Brian Haney from Learfield, Kansas, a 67-63 win over Texas Tech. Kansas clinching a share of the Big 12 regular season championship for the 17th time in the 20 seasons Bill Self has been there. ESPN analyst LaFonso Ellis and Seth Greenberg.
Every team has scars. They have fewer scars. All right. You talk about DeJuan Harris, his ability to get him in offense when he scores, they're good. If he's not scored it, maybe it hurts him a little bit. Their set of wings are unique. Now, what Bill Self has to do is develop his bench. He's starting to do that, but they can play in a half court. They can play in transition. They are tough enough defensively because they have the ability to switch all 5 spots. There is no team that separated themselves in college basketball today. Of all the teams that are playing college basketball today, they probably are the most complete at this moment in time.
I like this Kansas team, but I like another team in Alabama better. Alabama is the deepest, most talented team in the country. And Brendan Miller is just difficult to deal with. At 6'8", you can put him in ball screen situations, Seth. You go under, shooting 40% from 3, starting to really put it down, get in the lane, finish with either hand around the rim. You're talking about a team that starts 6'8" at the small forward, 6'10" and Noah Clowney at the power forward spot, and then they go with Bediako, who's a 7-footer inside.
Well, they got 4 bigs.
Yeah, their ability to be able to defend, multiple guys who can make shots off the dribble. Mark Steers can really stick it. I like Alabama as the better team over Kansas.
They're Noah's Ark. They have 2 of everything. I mean, that's just the way it is.
As for Kansas, their 7th straight win on Tuesday, extending the longest win streak in the Big 12, their 40th consecutive win on senior night. Number 12, Tennessee beats Arkansas 75-57. Zakai Ziegler, though, left the game in the first half with what looked like a pretty bad left knee injury. He did not return. See how that affects the Vols as we head towards tournament time. Sunrise for Phoenix on Wednesday. That's next. SportsCenter All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Greeny, and we couldn't be busier. Aaron Rodgers, could he be on the move? Baseball's pitch clock, will it ruin the sport? We're talking about it all. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN app.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.
2 seconds left on the clock, third field goal range, and it looks like he's going to go with a 5-iron. No, wait. The quarterback is skating back on the ice. He's talking with his caddy. They're pulling the goalie. He skates off the fairway as the kicker lines up his putt. It's a breakaway. They bundled their home and auto insurance with Progressive. Touchdown savings, birdie goal.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
Because what could easily have happened today is the GM of the Packers could have got up there and said, yes, Aaron and I have been talking. He's coming back, and we're here to put the best team we can together around him. He could have said that, but that's not what happened, because it isn't the case. Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, and the Packers are motivated to move on. So he's going to play somewhere else.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
Peter Rosenberg here to tell you about my friends over at Bath Fitter. They remodeled my bath. They did an incredible job, and it was customized for my specific needs. The process was easy, one installer, and done in as little as 1 day. No demolition needed, which keeps the cost down. And Bath Fitter is a permanent solution, not a cover-up, not a Band-Aid, and you get a lifetime guarantee for as long as you own your home. 38 years in business and over 2 million happy customers just like me. For a limited time, get no interest, no payments for 12 months, and start designing your bath today like I did at bathfitterdesign.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Take Mohegan Sun with you wherever you are in Connecticut, on your commute, at the shore, in the park, or at home. Your favorite casino games are now in the palm of your hand. Win real money and earn real awards by playing on the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Visit PlayMoheganSunCasino.com for today's promotions. Where do you play Mohegan? Must be 21 or older to play. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that gas prices have skyrocketed. I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
Everyone's talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yeah, real cash every time I buy gas.
What? That sounds like it could really add up.
I've made around $200 already.
Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WIN8 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WIN8 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code WIN8 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Every victory over cancer is worth celebrating. We celebrate every life saved by donating to Save Another.
It may not save my life. It may save someone you love.
Because of all the donations, mine is one of the lives that's been saved.
Life is worth celebrating. That's why ESPN and the V Foundation will never give up. Please give. Learn more at v.org.
The all-new Weekend Wager comes to 98.7 ESPN on Friday nights at 10 p.m. It's presented by BetMGM Sports. Don't be left out of the action.
SportsCenter All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
SportsCenter All Night is presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $700 on average.
Half-hour headlines on SportsCenter All Night.
Patrick Kane heading east, dealt from Chicago to the New York Rangers. Lakers without LeBron James falling to Memphis. Warriors rally for a win over Portland on Tuesday. Suns back on the court Wednesday with their newest acquisition.
There's no doubt in my mind that there's a lot of excitement around this Suns team of what they're going to be when they get Kevin Durant.
As far as integrating Kevin, I think there's going to be times where there may be hiccups.
The guy's been great at integrating me in all the sets and having a long practice so we can figure some stuff out. So it's been fun. I'm looking forward to trying to translate that over to the floor.
The expectation is that he is going to hit the ground running, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he fits in seamlessly to what this team does offensively.
Kevin Durant set to make his Suns debut on Wednesday against the Hornets. What's he bringing to the team?
Just my versatility. I know that can help me in a lot of different areas on both ends of the court. Being able to shoot the ball from different areas of the floor can help me, even if I might not know every small subtlety in a play. I can still try to figure it out, just by movement and stuff. And, guys been great at integrating me in all the sets and having a long practice so we can figure some stuff out. So it's been fun. I'm looking forward to try to get some, translate that over to the floor and see how we can keep building.
Kevin Durant's been out because of an MCL sprain since January 8th, but he has, as you heard, been working out with his new teammates for the last couple of weeks. ESPN NBA reporter Tim McMahon.
Anytime you add a superstar, obviously there's going to be a bit of an adjustment. But he's he's a pretty, as much as any superstar can be plug and play, it is Kevin Durant. And, it's funny, I hear, hey, who's going to take the last shot? Is it KD? Is it Booker? How's that work? Well, you're going to put the ball in Chris Paul's hands and let one of the best decision makers ever to play the game read the defense and get the ball to one or the other of these awesome superstars who are like some of the best shooters in the league. I don't have any concerns there. The Suns, they're by Vegas's estimation, the favorite in the West. I think Denver is being disrespected, but the Suns, without question, are really, really dangerous.
So KD's been working out with his teammates. What about hitting the ground running? ESPN insider Brian Windhorst.
A year ago, when he came back from very similar injury with the Nets, his first game back, he scored 31 points. His second game back, he scored 37 points. So the expectations are going to be high. Now, he is going to be on a minute restriction tomorrow night, so I'm not sure he's going to get that minute load. But I'm going to be honest with you, being around the team over the last couple of days, I know that Devin Booker plays everything monotone. I know that Chris Paul is long, experience with keeping expectations low. There's no doubt in my mind that there's a lot of excitement around this Suns team of what they're going to be when they get Kevin Durant. And he's had several long practices today. They worked out on the floor for over 2 hours as they've worked on getting into sets. Obviously, the reality is there's probably going to be a rough patch or two, but the expectation is that he is going to hit the ground running, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he fits in seamlessly to what this team does offensively.
Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Suns in Charlotte to face the Hornets on Wednesday. Tuesday action, Warriors hosting the Blazers. Portland jumped out to a 23-point lead before halftime. Let's just say they didn't maintain that lead.
Draymond finds Poole off a screen. 3-ball right side. Good for Jordan Poole. It's a 4-point game. The Warriors were down 23 in the first half. A 30-11 run. Poole crosses midcourt. Crossover dribble to the right hand. Dribbles, spins on Watford, goes up and scores. Put him in the blender. Laid it in 94-84.
Think he's feeling it?
I think so. Sometimes Jordan has to be a little bit crazy to be at his best.
97.5 the game. Jordan Poole, 29 points. Warriors come all the way back and then some. They beat Portland 123-105. A game they trailed by 23. Fourth largest comeback win in any game under Steve Kerr. Their largest in the game without Steph Curry in that span. They won by 18. Largest win by a team that trailed by at least 20 this season. In Memphis,
Morant around a Clark screen, into the lane, hangs it. Gabriel floats it up and in. John Morant is still down, though. He took a shot. Grizzlies up by 9. Reeves at the horn. It's no good. Morant, a new franchise record with 28 points in a quarter.
28 in the third, finished with 39. Second career 30-point triple-double as the Grizzlies beat the Lakers 121-109, as heard on 92.9 ESPN in Memphis. For John Morant, second career 30-point triple-double, finishing with 39. He spoke with TNT.
That is him. He is that guy.
Well, he's the guy that goes shirtless coming into the game. I don't know if you saw that.
We can't lose when you come in like that.
Ja, you went into halftime and you guys were down. You must have put on your cape. What happened in that third quarter where you scored more points in the third quarter than any player has done in any quarter this season?
Just, locked in. The shots I missed earlier in the first half, the shots I made in that third quarter. I just told my teammates, I wasn't going to miss too many more of those. And, I got it going, and the rest is history.
You guys tonight had a really solid performance, but you guys have played really well at home this season. There's no question about it. You've got a really important road trip coming up. What's going to be the difference for you guys to turn it around away from home?
The same mindset we got at home. Obviously, when we at home, we got to protect home court. But, when we go on the road, we just got to take over their home court and, go out with that same mindset and energy that we have here and take it on the road and, go win games.
Is Dylan allowed to pack shirts for the road trip?
Hey, man, Dylan is Dylan. He wear what he want. The 2 times he came in with, no shirt on, we got wins. So I don't know about that, man. If he want to wear no shirt, he wear no shirt, as long as we get the win.
And the Grizzlies get the win on Tuesday. 47 points in the third quarter en route to their win over the Lakers. Lakers, with the loss, have lost 10 of the 15 games they've played without LeBron James this season. They're still 12th in the West. What about postseason aspirations to the guys at PTI?
Hi, Wilbon. Can the Lakers make the playoffs without LeBron?
No. I wasn't sure the Lakers could make the playoffs with LeBron. I mean, Tony, even for somebody, all of us were picking our number. What was the over-under? I had said, 16-7. And it got down because they won 3 games. Okay, now it's 13-7, whatever. What makes you think the Lakers can win that percentage of games without LeBron? When they was, yes, they had a great comeback. It was rousing. It was all that. But health has been, even LeBron, when I sat with him a couple of weeks ago, says we all got to be there. And that's why LeBron called these 23 of the most important games of my career in terms of regular season. Because he knew he and Anthony Davis and everybody had to be out there pushing the boulder together. And now they can't push it. You subtract your best player from a team in the NBA, you know what you get? 99% of the time, you get a flat line. There's some exceptions. I don't think this is going to be it.
We don't have a specific and complete diagnosis about what is wrong with LeBron James and how long he is going to be out.
No, we don't.
There are 21 games left. There is a jumble, actually, in both conferences. There is a jumble past probably number 4 in the East and number 2 in the West. There's a whole bunch of teams sort of like this. So they don't have to win a million of these games. There are more playoff teams in the NBA than any other league. 20 out of 30 teams make the playoffs in one form or another, whether they call it the play-in or not. If you're in the tournament, you have a chance if you have LeBron James, and he will be well by then. So I actually think that they will make the play-in. I do.
Wow.
So, yeah, I give them a chance.
Well,
I do. I think they make the play-in.
Let me say this. I hope you are right. I want to see LeBron. We watch basketball. Who doesn't want to see LeBron James? So I want to see LeBron. I hope there's a miracle. What was the movie with Eddie Murphy? I got legs, I got ankles, I got healthy ankles.
That's right.
LeBron, come on back. We want to see you. But man, Tony's 38. I mean, people went crazy with Tom Brady at 45. 38, nobody's done at 38 what LeBron has done. I don't know that it's fair to expect him back, but I hope you're right.
Lakers 12th in the West. Of course, it's a jam-packed Western Conference. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. LA Lakers 12th. LA Clippers currently sitting in a playoff position at number 6. Clippers facing Minnesota on Tuesday.
Mike Conley with it up top is the only starter not in double figures. Wing right and off the Rudy screen. And off to Conley to the corner. McDaniels catch and shoot 3 on line and on target. Horn set to his left. It's Edwards. And with a left-handed dribble with 7 to shoot. Bounce pass underneath Anderson off the Rudy. Up for the two-handed slam in traffic. Kyle Anderson sets up Rudy.
8:30 WCCO. Timberwolves a 108-101 win over the Clippers, who are now 0-3 with Russell Westbrook. He had 14 points, 10 assists in the loss. Anthony Edwards, 18 points on 6 of 18 shooting in the win. He spoke with TNT.
Man, you guys defensively, man, you were aggressive. What was it about this defensive performance tonight?
I mean, we knew that it was a big ISO team, everybody on their team. So we knew we had to guard, and we came in with our mind made up, like, this is our type of game. We love to play defense, man, so when you got ISO players, this is our type of game, and we came for it.
Man, you guys play defense and offense, we know what you can do, but you told me before the game, you're watching film of how Kobe Bryant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, how they are being guarded, boxing one defenses. What are you getting out of that?
I'm starting to learn more, man, and it's actually fun, man. Finding my teammates when they're open, they get super excited. So, I'm just as good as my teammates, and they help me go, and they give me all the praise, and I give all the praise to them. So, I love it.
Man, you guys going through the stretch right now, trying to get in the playoff position. Karl Anthony Towns is still out. What are you guys looking to accomplish right now until your big guy gets back?
Just keep finding our rhythm. Finding our rhythm from behind the arc. Offensively, our defense gonna be there, and when he come back, our rhythm behind the arc gonna get even better because he's the best shooting big in the league. So when he come back, it's gonna be even more deadly.
Minnesota right now in the 8th spot, one of the play-in spots in the Western Conference. Half game behind the Dallas Mavericks, who are sitting in the number 7 spot. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
Do you want him back as the quarterback of the Packers? Those discussions have to happen and making sure that it's the right fit.
Today was the first time that the window was open by Brian Gutekunst to say that he may not be back in Green Bay.
So he's going to play somewhere else.
Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst, lukewarm at best about his veteran quarterback.
Yeah, there's been some contact back and forth. Obviously, he's had some things on his plate, but hopefully those things will happen soon.
Do you want him back as the quarterback of the Packers?
Yeah, I think, those discussions have to happen and making sure that it's the right fit. But obviously, we know the kind of player that Aaron is. And, once we have those conversations, we'll be able to move forward. We'll have more to say.
Not necessarily a ringing endorsement from the front office in Green Bay. Earlier on Greeny,
it feels today more real than it ever has at any point. Because what could easily have happened today is the GM of the Packers could have got up there and said, yes, Aaron and I have been talking. He's coming back, and we're here to put the best team we can together around him. He could have said that. Candidly, it would probably make their lives a lot easier. But that's not what happened, because it isn't the case. Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, and the Packers are motivated to move on. So he's going to play somewhere else.
And if that somewhere else is New York, say with the Jets, Michael Kay from 98.7 ESPN New York.
Even if they get Aaron Rodgers, I'm not sure they get a parade. I mean, they might win a playoff game, but that's a lot of capital to get through to get to that parade. I think it's a little overblown that the Jets are like one step away from the Super Bowl. I think they're a long way away from the Super Bowl, even with Rodgers, but he would definitely get them into the playoffs. If they had even an average quarterback this year, they would have gone to the playoffs, but I don't know if they have enough firepower to get to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure they're there.
See where Aaron Rodgers winds up. It would have to be a trade if he is on the move to a team like the Jets. Speaking of quarterbacks, Brock Purdy, pretty successful year as Mr. Irrelevant with the 49ers, but now dealing with offseason surgery, which, according to General Manager John Lynch, has been delayed.
Just commenting on that, I really want to thank Dr. Meister. He called me when he made that decision. That's a tough decision to make, but I really appreciate the courage and the conviction to make that decision. It's all about the best outcome. Is it ideal? No, you want, for a variety of reasons, time being number one. You want every waking minute that you have, but ultimately he's 22 years old. We want the best outcome, and that's what Dr. Meister made a really tough decision, and we're very appreciative. And he's done thousands of these surgeries, and he just, when you have all the swelling out, when you have all the stiffness out, is when he's had the best success with the outcomes. And so we're very thankful, and we're hopeful that when they meet down in Arizona this week, if they can move forward, and then it would be early next week as to when they would go in there and have the surgery.
Meanwhile, John Lynch says Trey Lance now needs to play. Straight ahead, spotlight is quite warm in the nation's capital. Sports Center All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Wednesday, as the NFL Combine kicks off this week, we'll tell you exactly what you should be paying attention to. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
More Sports Center All Night. Next.
The Michael Kay Show is on.
The Knicks have a chance to be the 4th seed after beating the best team in basketball.
There's no question they're good, and I think you should just enjoy it. Instead of trying to extrapolate it out to what it's all going to mean to the end of the day, they've won 2 games this year against the Celtics that have the best record in the NBA. They are clearly a playoff team, and there's no reason why you can't set your sights on the 4 seed and host the Cavaliers in the first round.
Don't miss the Michael Kay Show, weekdays at 3 on 98.7 ESPN.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Kay. I love when I get to talk about my friends at PC Richard & Son. It's a local company, family owned. I trust them for my appliances, TVs, electronics, and a good night's sleep too. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process to find you the right pillow, the right firmness, the right technology, and the right adjustable base so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it, and they deliver it for free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son, the local company you could trust for your new mattress.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-901-3322. 800-901-3322. 800-901-3322. Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
Bart Starr didn't play much his senior season at Alabama after a coaching change left most seniors on the bench. That didn't stop the Green Bay Packers from taking a chance on Starr, drafting him in the 17th round of the 1956 NFL Draft. The gamble paid off. Starr went on to a Hall of Fame career with 5 NFL championships, as well as winning the first 2 Super Bowls in NFL history, winning the MVP of both.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
When there's a chance for a championship trophy, you need to have the right people in the right positions. That's why when you post a job for free, LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 875 million professionals to find the right people for your role. LinkedIn Jobs helps you narrow down to only the most qualified candidates, which means you can start hiring the right people faster. Go to linkedin.com/sports to post your job for free. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
We're taking it to KJ and Max, 6 o'clock Eastern time here on ESPN Radio. Sports Center All Night presented by Progressive Insurance. L.A. County on Tuesday agreeing to pay nearly $29 million to the family of Kobe Bryant, ending 3 years of litigation that began after deputies shared the graphic photos of the helicopter crash scene that killed the Lakers star, his daughter, and 7 others. The Board of Supervisors in L.A. has already approved the agreement. A federal judge will have to sign off on it before it's finalized. In total, the county's handling of the crash and its aftermath is expected to cost taxpayers just over $51 million in attorney's fees, costs, verdicts, and settlements being paid out. Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder hasn't made many friends. His business practices continuing to come under scrutiny. ESPN investigative reporter Don Van Natta.
Dan Snyder took out a $55 million credit line with Bank of America without the knowledge or the approval of his 3 limited partners. And as part of the NFL arbitration, the 3 partners asked an NFL arbitrator to go to Bank of America and find out how Snyder was able to do that without their approval. Within 4 days of that request that was made of the NFL arbitrator, the arbitration process was shut down. It was quickly put to mediation. And so for that reason, the limited partners believe that there was no interest on the part of the NFL to get to the bottom of this secret $55 million credit line taken out by Dan Snyder.
So what's next in the criminal investigation into Snyder and the team's alleged financial misconduct?
My understanding, Kevin, is that the investigation is going to intensify in the coming weeks. We could see subpoenas go out to a whistleblower who claims that Dan Snyder had 2 sets of books, as well as subpoenas to the 3 limited partners to discuss what their knowledge was about basically an allegation that they claim Dan Snyder was using the team while they were partners as his personal piggy bank.
Wow. For much more on this story, you can check out Don's article on ESPN.com. Don, thank you so much.
To baseball. The Dodgers will be without Gavin Lux for the entire season. Torn right ACL. Rays pitcher Tyler Glasnow out 6 to 8 weeks. He has a strained oblique. Padres pitcher Joe Musgrove fracturing his toe in an accident in the weight room. Dropped a kettlebell on his left big toe. Meanwhile, an interesting afternoon for the Orioles and Pirates. Baltimore grounds out, ending the top of the 9th. Orioles were the visiting team, and they were down 7-4. Game over, right? Well, the managers chatted. Orioles wanted to get some work for one of their pitchers, so they played the bottom of the 9th anyway, without umpires. Balls and strikes called by the catcher. Sports Center All Night, ESPN Radio, to the top sounds of Tuesday.
Number 4.
Jay, Nuggets and Rockets in Houston Tuesday night, third quarter, and Nikola Jokic hit a career milestone. The radio call from the Altitude Radio Network.
Kenyon Martin Jr., top of the key to Şengün, guarded by Bruce Brown. He puts it on the floor, hands it off behind him. Over to Washington. Left side now, catch and go as Smith leans in. Layup is no good. Rebound down to Nikola Jokic, and there it is. His 100th career triple-double for Nikola Jokic. Also his 24th on the year for the big fella from Denver.
Number 3.
College hoops, Boise State with an impressive home victory against number 18 San Diego State. Max Rice dialing up from distance time and time again in the second half. The call from Learfield.
Broncos with a chance to go in front. Rice trying to get into the paint. Rice, long three is good again. Max Rice with his 5th North American three. Aztecs call timeout. Broncos are up 2. It's a 10-0 run. 62-63 triples in a row for Wright.
Number 2.
Wizards on the road in Atlanta against the Hawks. Bradley Beal going for 37, and Beal coming up huge late in the fourth quarter. The call from the team, 980.
Beal right in the circle, on the dribble, cuts to his left. Beal still in the dribble at the State Farm Arena logo. Beal, left elbow, jab, step, leans in, flips to the shot, makes and scores! Left side of the lane from 12 feet, Bradley Beal scores! And the Wizards up by 3, 119-116 with 8.9 seconds left. Bradley Beal has taken over, and Bradley Beal has 37 points.
Number 1.
Grizzlies at home against the Lakers. Grizzlies at home and winning against the Lakers. John Moran went for a triple-double, and Jaren Jackson Jr. had this huge throwdown in the fourth quarter. Here's the call, 92.9 ESPN Memphis.
Lob into the lane for Davis, intercepted by Jackson. Here comes the Grizz. Jones ahead for Conchar. Conchar into the paint, running floater, no good. Oh, Jaren Jackson just posterized Anthony Davis with a follow left-hand jam.
Memphis with the win, and they are number 2 in the Western Conference, tightly packed from there on down. College basketball in the ACC, Duke a 71-67 win over NC State, finishing the season 16-0 at Cameron Indoor. Number 13, Virginia beats Clemson 64-57. As for what we saw Tuesday night, ESPN bracketologist Joe Lenardi.
No teams moving in or out of the field, but we have a clear winner and loser tonight. Clemson, they go from first 4 out to next 4 out, and they are heading in the wrong direction in spite of a great league record. That's a comment on the ACC, not Clemson. At the other end, Boise State, a gigantic win in the Mountain West over San Diego State. They go from that first 4 group headed to Dayton into the main bracket, and that will be welcome news in Idaho.
Speaking of college hoops, the D1 record for points in a career held by Pete Maravich could fall tomorrow. Antoine Davis moving within 26 as Detroit Mercy heads to the Horizon League tournament. You'll see it on ESPN+. That'll do it for Sports Center all night. I'm Jay Reynolds. It's Wednesday, March 1st. Justin Bieber turns 29 today. Kevin Durant debuts tonight with the Suns. A lot of interesting comments coming out of the NFL Combine. It's all next on KJM on ESPN Radio.
Coming up next, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio and ESPN3.
And we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews. But now, we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
The
The Bart and Hahn Show.
For a while during the season, it's the Knicks really don't take them seriously. They're not that good. But you're at that point that now everybody looks and says, no, you got to be ready for this team. You give them a little more respect, and that means you're going to get the other team's best, especially some of these contenders in the East that you're going to be facing. So this will be that time of year where you say this is where they either clinched fifth or they slipped out of any chance of getting fifth.
Bart Scott and Alan Hahn, weekdays at noon on 98.7 ESPN.
Take Mohegan Sun with you wherever you are in Connecticut, on your commute, at the shore, in the park, or at home. Your favorite casino games are now in the palm of your hand. Win real money and earn real awards by playing on the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Visit PlayMoheganSunCasino.com for today's promotions. Where do you play Mohegan? Must be 21 or older to play. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org.
Tens of thousands affected by the toxic water at Camp Lejeune are left with death, cancer, Parkinson's, dementia, birth defects, and other serious illnesses. And along with the harm, so many worries.
My family drank the Camp Lejeune water. What if our health gets worse and we need more financial help?
How do I protect my VA benefits and get the compensation I deserve and need?
The answer is simple. Call James Harris Law, the experienced, trusted law firm that can get you significant compensation while protecting all your VA benefits. We're already fighting for hundreds of Marines, families, and civilians who drank Camp Lejeune water. But if you miss the deadline, you could forever lose your right to the justice you deserve. So call our Camp Lejeune legal helpline now. Now may be your last chance to receive full compensation. Don't delay. Call 800-214-8822. That's 800-214-8822. 800-214-8822.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I am blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, how Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
1050 ESPN New York. The biggest names and the biggest games. WEPN New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Lakers really contending anyway with a healthy LeBron James. So now you tell me LeBron James is going to miss several weeks. I see this being the Lakers season.
It's levels to it. You and I know. Tell him be humble.
Are we realistically going to expect Anthony Davis to all of a sudden get the Lakers to a 7th or 8th seed?
Be humble.
Hell no. I know that the expectation is that they were going to be in championship game, but it still feels like, you win one, even though it was in the bubble, it takes away a little bit of the pain. I still don't know if I would call it a complete failure when you won a chip several years ago.
Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio Sirius XM Channel 80. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Morning, Jay.
What up, man?
What's going on, man? We haven't had the whole band together in a minute.
So I didn't get a chance to tell you this because you weren't here yesterday. I get a chance to tell Freddie yesterday. I literally had a life-changing experience on my flight, man. What? We were coming back from the Bahamas.
Is this appropriate for
yeah. Coming back from the Bahamas Sunday morning, okay, at 41,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, literally, I look up and the pilots are putting their mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Like their masks have came down. I'm like, what the heck? And so you naturally look up, man. Where are my masks? Like, why are you guys putting your mask on? And I'm looking at my kids. And the plane just starts descending fast, so quick. We go down to like 15,000 feet, right? And pilot ends up losing all technology in the front. He's hand steering, and literally we land in Orlando. So I'm supposed to come back. supposed to be at work on Monday, but now all of a sudden it's 12 o'clock midday and I'm landing in Orlando. And there's all these ambulances, fire trucks down at the bottom. We're like, is this we still have no clue what's going on. We're like, is this for us? Like, what the hell's going on? Pilot ends up literally coming at intercom saying that the cabin pressure destabilized. We could have all passed out. They put their mask on. They lost all technology in the front of the plane. He had to hand steer the plane down. So it was literally, and I spent the whole day trying to get into a hotel at Disney World. That's where me and my family stayed.
That
in
was
the
actually,
lobby
by the
of
way,
Disney World.
If the plane would have gone down, that would have been an easier time than what you actually experienced. Less torture.
The whole day, I'm like trying to show my Disney ID. I'm like, can I get a corporate? They're like, sorry, sir, we have no availability. There's nothing here. So literally, it was like one of those days. We finally got back on Monday. It was like, my whole family, we're so appreciative, man. Just like regardless of whether we got stuck outside Disney World, we like literally Bahamas, then Disney World, kids ran around, we turned it something positive, but it's like that, man, the plane, we could just.
I'm just telling you, you would have been better
out.
off if the plane goes down than if what you experienced. I would have preferred the other way.
So, and here we are today talking about Anthony Davis and the Lakers, like that quick.
I'll tell you what, man.
You ever have an experience like that on the plane?
I have. I was on a plane once leaving maybe St. Louis, and I smell something burning, but it's like a metallic smell. And I could see other people smell, but no one wants to say anything. But I'm not that dude, right? So I'm like, pardon me.
Excuse me, flight attendant button.
Exactly. I'm like, you smell that? She said, yeah. I said, well, what is it? She goes, something with the microwave or something like that with the oven. I said, well, can we check? She comes back a minute later. We have to make an emergency landing.
What?
Yeah, man.
So you're the detective that called action.
I saved the day. So like this woman sitting next to me is squeezing my hand, right? Because
and you have no idea who this woman is.
No, because everyone's scared, right? But I'm not that way, only because like, what are you gonna do, right? But it is terrifying that you think, well, this could go at any second, right? Yeah. And it takes about 10 minutes to land. We landed in Kansas City. They had to bring in new equipment, which means another plane.
What does that mean? Another plane. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't bring in new equipment and say we're going to give it a go.
No. There's zero chance I get back on that plane. Zero chance. Zero.
Come on, back on. We'll give it another shot.
Yeah.
Like, pass. More importantly, how do I not get a room at Disney World? At Disney World. I got to go back down.
Did you have a bad show recently or?
Now it's all coming together.
That's
now it's all coming together, Bob Iger.
I'm listening to you last Tuesday. You mailed it in.
No room for you or your 10 kids. Kids like baby's kids running around.
So where'd you eventually stay?
We eventually got a room at Disney.
Oh, at Disney.
Later, but I mean, we were in a lobby for like 6-7 hours. And my kids came back from vacation looking like my complexion, right? So like they're just running around everywhere, going crazy. It was just like one of those great experiences, man.
Yeah.
But I did have a woman at the front desk that was like, you ever see Along Came Polly, where he's trying to get on the plane?
Right.
And she's just doing all the typing
forever,
for like 15 minutes, like, we have no rooms. I'm like, it took you 10 minutes to tell me you have no rooms?
You know what I used to tell him? I used to tell him, like, if I get to a hotel, and I was like, let me ask them, whoever the vice president is. You don't
go right to the
vice
VP.
president. If it was Dick Cheney or whoever, you say, let me ask you something. Dick Cheney walks in right now. You got a room, right?
You compare yourself to Dick Cheney.
I'm Dick Cheney, right?
You're Dick Cheney.
I'm whoever. I'm Kamala, right? I'm whoever is the VP. You say, okay, that's me now. Now where's the room? They'll find something.
So that was It was a good overall weekend. I just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah. Well, it was a good overall weekend. Very great overall weekend when you consider the alternative.
You're alive. Yeah.
The worst part about all of that is I'd be sitting here all by myself.
And then I came back to 7 inches of snow. Yeah, that's where we were.
You know what else is like 7? How do you do it? I don't know. We heard sound on the way in of you talking about AD carrying a team without LeBron, how that has not happened. The only time I remember him on the Pelicans, and I thought he had a chance to be the greatest power forward ever at the time. Of course, that's Tim Duncan by a mile, but AD's raw ability and his refined skill at that point, you're like, whoa, if he starts winning championships at some point. There was one year, 2000, I don't know, 14, 15, I don't remember what it was. The Spurs really needed a win for home court purposes at last game of the season, and AD just took it to him, and the Pelicans won, made the playoffs, but also like hurt the Spurs, a game the Spurs need. I thought, oh, look at that. Maybe he is a big game player. He really just doesn't have enough around him. And he is a big game player if he's the second banana. But he's not built, it doesn't seem, Jay. Maybe it's the skill set, whatever it is, the way the game's changed, to be the lead guy. And you saw the video on the way in. If you're watching us on ESPN2 or on ESPN2 till 8 a.m., ESPNU till 10 a.m., Jay, LeBron goes, I heard, you could read his lips, I heard it pop. Soon as LeBron says, I heard it pop, and he grabs his foot, that's your season. I mean, that's it.
So I said this yesterday. I saw one of these while in the Bahamas, a new BMW 7 Series 2023. And I was like, wow, that looks very different from the last 7 Series I think I saw was like 2015. And I feel like, Max, how I talked about that BMW 7 Series is how I look at Giannis and Jokic. I'm like, I think they're that new 2023 7 Series BMW. That thing looks different. Has all these different gadgets, guys bringing the ball up the court, guys grabbing polo-like rebounds with one hand, lobbing it back in, throwing outlet passes, initiating the offense. And I'm kind of looking at Anthony Davis like, are you that 2015 BMW 7 Series? I remember when that came out, that thing was dope. It was incredible. You had a chance to be all these other things, but it's not the new edition of where the game is going. And that's the only way I can put it. Like I said yesterday, he'll give you 27. Give you 27. He'll give you 18. I mean, last night he gave you what? 28 and 19. But it's not like momentum play. It's not the type of points that initiate and lift the offense and carry the momentum of the offense because he's not giving you 15 assists every night. He's not forcing the defense to collapse. And by the way, Memphis dominated the paint. They were plus 38 in the paint. And AD can't really handle the rock. So now you're looking at Dennis Schroeder, you're looking at Austin Reeves. And when you have 26 turnovers, you're not going to win the games. So I'm sitting here still holding pat to what I said yesterday. I love AD. He is a complimentary championship player to the player. He's never going to be the guy. And that's okay. That's not a knock on Anthony Davis. He's a piece of a championship team. He's just not going to be the catalyst like a LeBron, a Giannis, or a Jokic.
It's funny because the big story about him was he was 6 feet one year and he comes back almost 7 feet the next year, right? He grew all this and he was